And let's go live. What's up, you guys? It's Jonno! I'm gonna do some Photoshop, so let's get started. You can see, well, you can't see yet. I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna Photoshop today. Today I want to play around in Photoshop because I saw an edit on Instagram that I wanted to remake. And I also want to clear out my Instagram DMs because I've got a lot of DMs on Instagram. So let me go ahead and show you guys this edit that I want to do. Let me go ahead and find my live chat. What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, Nico P? What's up, Sharkman? What's up, PokeClan? What's up, Dave Turk G? What's up to Logan Bogumal? What's up, Pokeclips? What's up to Colin Cooper? What's up, Steve Perez? What's up, David Wanuga? What's up, Ray, Rowie, Ganabi? I can't see because everybody's name is flying past really fast. What's up, everybody? Thanks for hanging out. What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? Thanks for hanging out, you guys. What's up to Magnus Gilland? What's up to David Awanuga? What's up to JMS Live? What's up, Potato? What's up, bro? What's up to the Ginth01? What's up to Commander Klein? What's up, bro? What's up, John the Lazy Guy? What's up, Ender Dude? What's up to Mr. Cozy? What's up, Fraudster Tube? What's up, Jake Parks? What's up, PS4 Gaming? What's up, Ruby Laker? What's up, Tyler Skozen? What's up, Jake Parks? What's up, Spoonboard? What's up, Phase 2? What's up, Trainer Red 123? Thanks for hanging out, you guys. I'm just getting started, really just getting started. Thanks to Sean O'Leary for showing up. Yo! What's up, Taylor Hume? What's up, Ruby Laker? I think I said that one. Master Game Mike 8. What's up to Paul Andrews? What's up, Sean O'Leary? What's up to Cornish Babbler? What's up to Tim K Gaming? What's up, Princess Bella? What's up, Aggie Gajoshi? I probably said that wrong, sorry. What's up, Louis Timbler? What's up, Life Hacking Dude? What's up, Mike Saavedre? What's up to Jacob Morris? What's up, Blue Jesse Pikachu? Thanks for hanging out, you guys. I really appreciate it. You guys are all coming to hang out on my live stream. Really super appreciate that. What's up, Purple Ghost? What's up, L Master? What's up, you guys? What's up, Magnus Guyland? What's up to My Best Song? What's up, PFM44? What's up, Tino 2-inch? Alright, you guys, so I'm about to get started here. Let me go ahead and transfer my screen over so you can see here. This is what I'm going to make. This is the edit that I'm going to make. So, how to survive school. Teachers are gym leaders. A test is a battle. An important test is a gym battle. Grades are gym badges. A new semester is a new town. And a year is a league. So that's pretty cool. I thought that was a pretty funny edit, but I don't like the picture. This picture makes no sense. So I was like, well, maybe I'll pick a better picture to do this one. So I'm going to do some Photoshop editing today. I'm going to show you guys my process a little bit. So the first thing I need to get is some assets. So what I want to get is a picture of a school. So here's my my momentum. What's my main focus for today? Do an awesome live stream. Alright, so that's my main focus. Alright, so let's go ahead and find myself a school. So I'm going to go over to Google Images, just like everybody does. And I'm going to find myself something that looks more realistic. And I need it to be about medium-sized. So let's see, something realistic that doesn't have a bunch of kids' faces in it. I don't want to see a bunch of kids' faces in my edit, so let's see here. School, this is kind of a decent school, but it's nighttime. I want a school during the day. Westport K-12. You know what I want is a large photo. I don't want medium, I want large. These mediums are too small. So let's see if we can find a school with a statue. I want a school with a statue. School with statue. Oh, it took out the word with. It doesn't like the word with. So let's go school. I'm just going to do school then. Now this is a large photo. What I'm going to do is I want to throw in some Pokemon Go elements into a Photoshop edit. Oh my god, these kids are all in school and it's a flood. What? Oh my god, you must be kidding. This is a joke photo. That's crazy. That's not real. That can't be real. Alright, so let's do, geez, where's a good school? Here's a Minecraft school. Is this a good school? No. Let's find a good... Actually, I do kind of like that school. It's a university. Let's see here. I need something compelling. I'm starting to get uninspired. I'm like, this edit isn't gonna work out if I can't find a good like resource for it. Let's go elementary school. Elementary school. Maybe it'll give me a better school. Yeah, these schools are better. Because those schools I was looking at were trash. Alright, this is better. I need something with good perspective. Alright, this will work. This will work. Alright, so let me go ahead and take my graphic. I'm going to throw it onto my desktop real quick. So here we go. Throw this onto my desktop. Alright, so I've already got Photoshop open. So let me go ahead and open up Photoshop. I'm going to drop this in there. Alright, so now I've got my graphic. Let's go to full size, image size. Always want to look at your size in pixels. This is pretty big. It's a little bit too big, but Instagram will be fine with that. I am going to go to zoom out so I can see my entire composition. Now I already have a couple of assets, but I still need some more assets. So let me go ahead and see if I have got my, let's see here. I've got an egg incubator. Oh, here we go. I need the Pokestop. So here we go, Pokestop. I'm going to duplicate this layer into my other composition. So there we go. You can see my layer now. Now what I'm going to do is stretch this guy a little bit bigger because I want to put a Pokestop like somewhere. I want to make it look like it's really in the composition, you know what I mean? Like I want it to actually look like it's there. So let's go layer via cut. What I'm going to do is cut this piece away from this piece, and that's what I did. I selected it and then I right click and do layer via cut right here, and then I can actually delete this other layer and it will go away. So let's go ahead and delete that guy. So now what I've got is just a Pokestop, and I want to have a couple of Pokestops inside this composition, but I don't know exactly where I want to stick them. So I'm going to need to put them in places where they're actually kind of like behind stuff. So one thing to do that makes stuff look really real is you can put it behind objects that are in there. So one thing I'm going to do is put this object behind some other objects. So the first thing I need to do is make a layer from my background. My background layer is locked, so I have to make a layer from it. So I'm going to go ahead and make a layer from the background. Now that I have a layer, I can actually zoom into this area and start to cut some little pieces away that I want to work with. To make this look like it's behind there, I need to get these columns to show in front of it. So what I need to do is actually select a lot of this white area here and then make a new layer from that white area so I can put it in front of my object. Now one thing that I'm realizing I can do is I can actually just select the areas that I want to select. So I'm going to grab this box right here. Alright, and I'm going to select it. It's not going to work out as a box though actually, because the box is giving me a straight line, and you can see how it's going into the columns because the columns are not straight lines. You can barely see it there, but that means I'm going to have to use my diagonal selection tool. So I'm going to select all these little areas inside of here so that I can reverse select them after that. So I'm going to hold shift so I can select another box right here. I want these columns to show in front of my object, and it'll make a lot more sense once I do it, in case you guys are wondering why I'm doing this. So here we go. There's my next column. Alright, so I'm selecting these columns. Alright. So you guys probably can't see the little, oh wait, no. There we go. So you can see the marching ants. What these are called is marching ants right here. They're called marching ants for whatever reason. I'm not really sure why, but they look like marching ants a little bit. So what I'm going to go is select, and I'm going to select the inverse of what I've selected. When I select the inverse, now everything right here, everything is selected. So if I was to delete it, all I would have left is the areas that I selected in the first place, because I inversed my selection. So I inversed the selection. Oh, let's see. I guess it's time to start blocking people on the chat. So here we go. Block. Alright. Anybody else wants to get blocked, just be a hater in the chat. That's all it takes. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is grab my box selection tool. So let's go back and look at where my Pokestop actually sits. So my Pokestop is right here. Oops. Pokestop here. I can't move it because I have selection right now. But I want to make sure that I drop the Pokestop into a location where it actually will show. But I can't do that right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my layer over here. I'm going to select my selection. I have to be on my selection tool. I'm going to right click and go layer via copy. Because what I want to have right now is an extra layer of this. But now I've got way too much. So because I've got way too much, I'm just going to select what I want, which is just about this amount right here. I'm going to select that and then refine my selection later. I'm going to do select inverse again because I want to delete away everything. Now I just hit the delete key. You can see right here I've got the deletion. It actually, oh, the clear right there. So clear, you can see clear and then deselect. So I actually cleared it. So if I were to remove this layer, now you can see I've got this nice layer right here with the holes. So you can see where this starts to get pretty useful. Now I've got the holes and I can actually see my Pokestop through those holes. So let me go ahead and move the Pokestop to a location where you would be able to see it through the holes, like right there. See the blue line is showing right through there? So that's what I wanted. I wanted that to show from behind. Now I need to select my background layer again and delete some of this extra because I don't need it to be there. Alright, so I'm just going to delete that excess right there because I don't need it. Now what I've got is some extra columns and some deleted area. And I need to drop this layer over the top of the Pokestop. And now you guys can see what I was trying to accomplish this whole time. The Pokestop actually looks like it's behind the area. It looks like it's behind that school area. Alright, so I can actually take my Pokestop and I can move it around because I've got this little bit of area now where I can manipulate it. So I can drag that Pokestop to the place where I feel like it looks the most realistic, which is going to be right about there. Alright? So that's pretty cool. I was able to get that in there. For those of you who don't do Photoshop, you'll probably think that this is a boring stream, but for those of you who actually like know me and know what I do on Instagram, this is like how I do what I do on Instagram. This is how I got 77,000 followers on Instagram. So alright, so here we go. I'm just making sure that that I block everybody who's a hater in the chat, because I'm gonna block all the haters. Alright, you guys, thanks for hanging out on the stream. Thanks for kicking it. I actually want to add some more assets in here, so I'm going to add some more stuff in here. So let's go ahead and find a Pokemon Gym. I need a Pokemon Gym asset, so let me go back to my browser. I need a Pokemon Gym. So let's go Pokemon Go Gym. I actually want a PNG if I can find one. It doesn't look like I'll probably find one. Let's see if I can find something that will work. That might work, but it's a gray gym. It has this weird look to it. I kind of don't like it. This is a little better, but it's all 2D. And it's really hard to find good assets. Wow, this is awesome. What is this? What? This is awesome. What is this? This is awesome. Oh my god, this is so awesome. He must be up on like the second floor of like a you know, like on the second floor of like a building, and he just got the perspective right, because that is awesome. That was so cool. Okay, anyway, I'm wasting my time now. This is what happens when I'm looking at Google. I find cool stuff. Alright, so I'm still looking for a gym PNG that I can use as an asset. I actually don't know if I'm going to find one. All these assets are really bad. Maybe what I'll do is use this one. This one's actually a little bit bigger though. Well, not really, because it's got the white space. Let's go see this one. Where is this? Let's see what page this is. So one thing I want to do right now is see if I can find a larger version of this picture on their server. So I'm going to see if I can find a larger version of this graphic on their server. It would be very difficult to find anything, but I might. Sometimes you get lucky and you can find larger versions of stuff in the back-end code. Like the image may be really big, but they only called it as a smaller size. And then you can find the larger image. But in this case, that's not going to work out. So I'm just going to drag this into my desktop and then drag it into my composition. I'm going to hold shift while I shrink it down so it doesn't change sizes too much, or so it doesn't change the aspect ratio. I don't want to stretch it out and make it look wrong, so I hold shift so that it doesn't stretch it out. You can see how it locks it there. Alright, so I actually do want this to be kind of big. So there we go. Alright, now the question is, where do I want to stick this gym? I think I'm probably going to have it come out from like behind the school or something like that. I'm not really sure. I kind of want the gym to be like massive, but you guys can see it looks a little bit stretched out when I do that, so I'm gonna keep it small. And then I still want it to go behind something, so I need to delete a lot of the area that's on this gym. I think what I'm gonna do is select the color. First I need to rasterize it so that I can actually delete areas of it, and then I'm gonna go select color range, and I'm gonna select this blue color right here and see if I can just delete all of that color. It's a little bit too much. I'm not sure why it's selecting both images. That's what I don't want. I just want it to select the one image. It's kind of interesting it selected both. Let's try it again. Select color range. I want this little bitty blue right here, but it's selecting a lot of the color in my main composition, which is weird. I don't know why it would do that. So what I'm going to do is actually open this in a different composition. I'm going to drag it into its own composition so I can modify it on its own. So let's go layer from background so I can actually delete stuff. Let's go select color range, select that color range that I want, and then delete it. So weird. When I'm deleting it, it's deleting more than what I want it to delete, which is strange. It's because I'm using the select color range, so what I'm going to have to do is use the magic selector. Magic selector just grabs everything of a certain color, which is a little bit easier to work with sometimes because the color selector is apparently selecting like more than I want. So now that I've deleted most of the background, I can come in here and manually delete all these parts that I don't want, like all this right here. So just get rid of all that so I don't have a bunch of like pixels around my composition. Now I'm not sure if this even looks good enough to use, but I'm going to duplicate it over to my composition just to see if it is good enough to use. So there it is. There's my gym. It's very small. You can barely see it, and it really doesn't look good. Although if I were to put it back behind the school, maybe it would look good. It does not look good, right? I don't think it looks good. It's really hard to get a gym, like a resource for gyms. I already looked for one, and now I want to see if I can find a better one, and I don't think I'm going to find a better one. I think what I can do is probably just take the highest resolution of a gym that I can find. It's probably going to be this one. So I'll put a Team Yellow gym in there. So let's go view image, blow that guy up, and then bring in to my composition. Well, actually, I'm not going to bring it into composition. I'm going to do the same thing I did on the other one, and I'm going to make a layer out of it, modify it, and then import it into my composition after I've modified it. So I'm going to use the selection tool. I'm going to turn up the tolerance so that it selects a lot more. I went a little bit too far. I don't want it to select that much. What I'm trying to avoid doing here is having to cut out this entire object because it will take a really long time to cut it out. So I'm just increasing my tolerance to the point where it will take as much as I can possibly get out of here. And then I'm using the magic selector because it's such an easy tool to use. There are better ways to do this, but magic selector is the fastest and it works really well. So I trust magic selector. I've used magic selector for many years. It's a total go-to tool. Now you can see there I deleted some of my gym. My gym has a little bit of color right here that you can see that is the same color as the background a little bit. So that's going to be one of those areas that I struggle to get out of there. So let me see if I can just get everything but that. And then I'll work harder on that when I get to that area. For now, I'm just making sure it's not deleting anything that's part of my that's part of what I want in my composition. Get that Pokestop out of there. There's a Pokestop in there. Now I've got this person who's basically on top of the Pokestop. I'm going to leave that person in there because they add value to the composition. That actually makes the composition look more realistic. So I'm going to leave that person in there. Oops. So you can see again, I got rid of some of my gym there, and I want to keep all of the gym. So I need to turn down my tolerance until it's not selecting the gym. You can see it's selecting the little bit of the gym, or it was. Now it's not, so I can delete that safely. So there we go. I managed to make it stop deleting the piece of my gym that I wanted. Now I'm just deleting some of these bigger pieces to clear them out because I need the space that they're occupying. And then eventually I'm going to clean this up and get this gym out of here and put it into my composition. I'm not quite there yet. So what I need to do now is zoom in and then start deleting some of these little remnants that are still here. So I'm going to use the diagonal selection tool to do that. Diagonal selection tool allows me to draw straight lines. Okay, so here's a straight line right across this edge, and I'm just selecting that little tiny bit of pixels that you can see that are there on the edge, and then I'm going to delete those. Okay, and it makes me that nice straight line. So all these little tiny bits of dark pixels, those reveal that I cut this off of a background, so I want to get rid of those dark pixels because I don't want it to reveal that I cut this off of a background. I want it to look as natural as possible. So that's why I use this selection tool. This is the only selection tool that will allow you to draw those straight lines that you need in order to delete these extra pixels. And it's really important because your composition will not look realistic if you have those extra pixels in there. I keep on hitting the button too many times and deselecting when I need to remain selected. So I'm just clearing out all these little remnants in here. Some of it I'm not going to get because it's just too close. But if there is one edge that I get that entire edge. You can see I'm drawing the line all the way over to the end of that line just to make sure that I get a straight line and that I get the entire edge so it looks as realistic as possible. So there are some little remnants that are still in here that I want to get off. Alright, you can see how I'm using the selection tool to actually move the window around. That's just a little pro tip right there. Saved me a couple of clicks by not having to go back into the window. Now there's a lot of remnants here, whole lot of remnants on this edge. And I have to draw kind of a curved line to get them out. And it's really hard to draw curved lines with this thing because it's a straight edge tool. So when you have to draw curved lines, you have to make a lot of clicks. Alright. Now this is probably the most time consuming part of this entire job. Like literally, this will take me the most time. But when I get a good asset off of this, I'll save it and then I'll keep it for future stuff. So what I'll probably do is duplicate this into my Pokemon Go lockup so I've got an asset, because I actually needed one of these the other day and I didn't have it and it was really difficult. So here you can see I'm just going in and deleting some more of this color that I know is the background color. It's going to make it look more realistic when I have these clear spaces where my school shows through. Alright, so just clearing out some of these background remnants here that I know don't need to be in here. And when they're clear, they're going to make it look so much more real. So that's my main focus. I want it to look really real. Alright, I'm almost done here. Just a couple little remnants left. I got my dude there. I got a lot of this cut off. Now I want to get some bigger pieces just so I can start to have an asset here that is free of debris. So I'm going to get all this selected. Some of this I haven't cleared yet, so I'm just kind of clearing it on the fly. Alright, so see how that cleared everything there? That was really handy. I'm just clearing off my edges here because I'm starting to get to the point where I'm almost done and I need to remove a lot of these remnants. This is going to be a really good asset. I'm really glad that I took the time to do this because I can use this asset for a lot of stuff. And plus I'm on Team Yellow, so it's nice that I got a Team Yellow asset. Alright. Almost done here. Alright, I think I'm pretty much good. I would like to keep the cameras, but I'm just going to leave the cameras for the sake of time because it's a lot of time to cut those out, and they have a lot of extra colors on those cameras. They're going to be really hard to cut out because of the light. Now this right here, see this light flashing? That's going to be a little hard to cut out. I'm going to have to figure out how I want to do that, basically. Alright, so I'm almost done here. I think what I'm going to do is just cut this out because it's unnecessary, and it's going to be too much work to try and deal with that. So now what I've got here is a really, really good gym asset. Let's go ahead and zoom out so I can see it. Now, one way that I check for remnants and anything left over is I go to blending options, and I go to stroke, and I stroke with a red pen, okay? So this shows me all my remnants. Now I've got 10 pixels of stroke around any remnants. So if there is a remnant there, I can grab my eraser tool, make sure my eraser tool is turned up pretty big, but not too big, and then I can actually erase these remnants. Because the remnants have 10 pixels of stroke around them, I know that those remnants are actually not as close to the edge as they look because they've got all that stroke. So I'm able to get in pretty close and delete those without actually touching my composition because I've got a full 10 pixels of padding because of the stroke. So I'm able to get in there really nice and tight and delete those remnants that I don't want to have in there that I didn't see because they're invisible to the eye because of my transparent background. So here we go. I've got pretty much all these done. I'm just moving these in to where I don't have that extra padding. I'm going to do it on his backpack as well because there's a little bit of remnants in there. And that pretty much is going to be it for this composition. So now I can turn off the stroke. I've got this great asset. I'm going to actually save this as a PSD because I love that I extracted this. So I'm going to save this, go to my Photoshop file, and just call this Pokemon Go Gym. Oops, go back. I'm going to save it right here in my Photoshop file. Go back, jeez. It won't let me save it, jeez. Photoshop, save. That was the weirdest process I ever had to go through to save. Okay, so now I'm going to duplicate this layer back over to my composition, and it should look pretty good because I did a really good job cutting it out, okay? So here we go. We got the gym right up here in the front of the, We got the homie looking like he's about ready to go to school, and this is actually turning into a really nice composition now. So let's go ahead and see what I got here. I got my gym right out in front. It doesn't look like crazy realistic yet, so I'm going to try and drop this a little bit further over here and see if I can maybe make it a little bit bigger. And because it's so big, I need to drop this dude like out in the front so he has the correct scale. So put that scale right out there in front so he's nice and big, and then it looks a little bit more realistic here in the front of my composition. So what I'm gonna do is actually, I want to put this behind the tree, but the tree is going to be really hard to cut out. That's really an impossible task. So I need to find somewhere I can put this guy where he actually looks more realistic. I think right there is going to be fine. Now what I need is some Pokemon. I need to throw some Pokemon into this composition. So let's go ahead and find, let's save this first off because I've gotten pretty far. Let's go. School gym, what do we want to call this? Photoshop, we'll call it Pokemon School Gym. Alright, there we go. Alright, so let's see here. Where, I need to put in another Pokestop, that's for sure. So let's go to my Pokestop. I'm going to hit Control J and duplicate my Pokestop. Gonna have to put in a Pokestop over here, but make it a little bit bigger because it's a little bit closer in the foreground. So there we go, Pokestop there. And we'll probably have to put a Pokestop inside of the school doors. So I'm gonna Control J this again, make myself another one. And because this one's a little bit further back, I'm gonna put it like nice and small down here. Have this be like right inside there. Alright, so let's have a look and see if it looks realistic. It looks a little bit realistic. I think it's fine. Now what I need is some Pokemon. So let's go find some assets for some Pokemon. Let's see. Pokemon, go Dratini. Let's put a Dratini in there. Oh, you know what? I have a Dratini actually. So I've already got a Dratini that I isolated from another composition. I'm going to open my Pokemon Go lockup. This is one that I've worked with a lot. So in here was Dratini. Where is it? Here he is, Dratini. Right there. Let's duplicate this layer into my composition. So there we go. We got Dratini. So I needed to have some Pokemon that were in here. Now Dratini is going to be hiding a little bit, so let me get my eraser tool. Dratini has some remnants that I didn't delete, so here we go. Delete some of those remnants that are left over in there. I can see them just barely. Oops, I deleted Dratini a little bit. Alright, those remnants bug me, so I like to get them out of there. Now I'm going to position Dratini just a little bit better here. Let's see here. What's another Pokemon that I already have? I don't think I already have any others. And I don't want to do any more cutouts. It takes forever, so I'm going to see if I have any more assets that I can just use without having to modify them. Let's see here. So one thing I need to do is make this into a 3x4. So I'm going to change it 3x4. This is for Instagram. I need some white space so I can actually make the joke. So here we go. I need the white space, so I'm going to make it 3x4, which I know is the size for Instagram. I'm going to go OK. And now what it did is created me a bunch of extra space. So let me zoom out. I've got all this white space now, which I needed so I could make the joke. So if we go back to my meme, here's my meme. Oops. So we got how to survive school. Teachers are gym leaders. A test is a battle. An important test is a gym battle. Grades are gym badges. A new semester is a new town. A year is a league. So I think that that's great. Shout out to Funniest Pokemon, because that's who put this up. And I saw it and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make my own Photoshop edit. He got 972 likes on that. Great job, you know, so good job to him, and that's what I'm recreating right now. So let's go ahead to my background layer. I'm going to use my paint bucket tool. I'm going to paint in the area white because that's pretty standard, and I'm going to do some text layers here. Text layer centered, how to survive school. Alright, so my text is actually white right now. I need to go to my text, change it to black. Need to change the size so it actually fits. Need to get a little bit more centered here, so I'm going to go to center. There we go. How to survive school. Alright, now I'm kind of an overachiever, so when I make characters, I always make characters a certain way. So I'm going to show you guys how I make my characters. They are white on a white background, which seems a little bit counterintuitive, but then once you see what I'm going to do, you'll see how this works. So we're going to go to drop shadow. Drop shadow gives it just that little bit of drop shadow, and I am actually going to use the default drop shadow, so I canceled that because I was messing with it and I didn't like what I did. So let's go to default drop shadow. There we go. Default drop shadow looks just fine. And then I'm also going to stroke it. We're going to stroke it 1 pix, and we're going to stroke it with black. That gives it the little bit of outline there, and in fact I think I'm going to do 2 pix there. Alright, 2 pixels of stroke. Alright guys, so there we go. I made white text on a white background, but you can see it because I did some stroke and I did some drop shadow. Now that's really pro tips right there, you guys. Most people don't know how to do that, and they won't tell you how to do that, but it's 2 little tiny pro tips that will actually make your text look really good. And because I want it to stand out, I gave it just a little bit more opacity on the drop shadow too. Alright, so let's go ahead and do a thinner layer right here. We're going to do left justification on this one. We're going to do text a little bit smaller, and we're going to go 1. Let's see, what was the text? 1. Teachers are gym leaders. Teachers are gym leaders. All right, so I need a little bit more room here. As you can see, I went down to a second line, and I need to duplicate my layer style. So what I'm going to do is go here, right click my original layer, how to survive school, and I'm going to go to copy layer style, and then I'm going to go to my other layer and paste layer style. The reason I did that is because it will give me exactly the same style, because I want them to match. Teachers are gym leaders. All right. Now let's go 2. A test is a battle. An important test is a gym battle. Okay. Grades are gym badges. I'm starting to run out of room here, as you guys can see, and I've got a couple of techniques that I'll use to give myself room. A new semester is a new town. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is shrink my text a little bit. It's just a little bit too big here. Don't need it to be that big. And I need just a little bit more room. Okay, and let's see if I can get my 6 on here. A year is a league. Alright, you guys. So now I have a 3x4 composition, which will fit perfectly into Instagram. I know it's 3x4 because I went to my crop tool, I put in a ratio of 3x4, and when I pull all the way from corner to corner, you can see I have a 3x4 composition. Alright, so that's perfect. Very happy about that. And I'm not going to crop that image. Alright, so now what I need here is to get this one line on one line. It is just a little bit weird not having it on one line, so I want to give myself a little bit more room, get it all on one line there. Make it look nice and tight. Alright, now I want a little bit more padding in between these rows, so I'm going to go to my line height. I'm going to increase that line height and use up that extra space so that it's not quite so filled in there. And I also think it's a little bit too close to How to Survive School, so I'm going to do that as well. I'm going to pull that down there, give these guys just a little bit more room off of How to Survive School. Now let's look at the composition. I think How to Survive School, I'm not loving this stroke and this the stroke and the drop shadow. It's just not getting there for me. There's something about it. I'm not sure. It's probably fine. So now the question is, what else does it need? I'm going to do shout outs for a second. So shout out to TYTYD21. Shout out to Finlay6988. Shout out to Raichu. Shout out to Magnus Ari. Shout out to Potato. Shout out to Harvey. Shout out. Hey, that's everybody. Okay. So yeah, shout out to you guys. Thanks for hanging out, you guys. I know this is probably boring, but I do Photoshop, and this is like what I do, so it's fun for me. Shout out to Bodhi the Beast. Plus, I had such a crazy lit day yesterday. I was like, oh my god, yesterday was insane. So I was like, may as well, you know, just be on a live stream and do something boring at my house. Shout out to Random Gaming 001. Shout out to Tyler Skozen. Shout out to That Guy. Shout out to Harvey. Shout out to Mike Wizard. Shout out to Random Gaming 001. Random Gaming 001 says it needs Charmander, so I'm going to get Charmander. Shout out to Stars and Boulevards. Shout out to Golden Pug Gaming. Shout out to Mike Wizard. Shout out to Commander Klein. Shout out to Mr. Cool 178. Shout out to Jackson Seacrest. Shout out to Mike Wizard. Shout out to Master Kevin Gaming. Shout out to In the Pokemon Mind. Shout out to Mr. Cool 178. Shout out to Annie Jackson. Shout out to Sean O'Leary. Shout out to Finlay. Love you, bro. I never tell people I love them. That was weird. Shout out to Shag, Walking Shag. Sup, bro? Shout out to Mr. Cool 178. Shout out to Korwa TV. Shout out to Sean O'Leary. Shout out to whoever has the symbols for their name. Shout out to Mr. Cool 178. Shout out to Stars and Boulevards. Thanks, you guys. All right. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Please subscribe if you have not already subscribed. I would really appreciate it. Somebody said it needs Charmander, so I'm going to do Charmander. So let's go over here. All right, Pokemon Go Charmander. I'm looking for a good high-res picture that I can cut him out of. This one's okay, but it's not great. This one's okay. That one's not bad. This one's actually pretty big, so I'll use this one. So it's the same thing I gotta do again. I have to cut this out. I'm gonna go to full size. I'm gonna use my magic selection tool. I'm gonna make a layer from my background. Same thing I did last time. That left a little bit too many remnants. So I'm going to increase the tolerance. Okay, that was a little bit better. It got right up on Charmander, no remnants. Take this one out too. So you can see Magic Selection Tool oftentimes will get you way closer detail, way faster than any other tool. Oops. If you make a mistake like I just did, I included some of his toe right there. You can hit backspace and then go back and remove that. Okay, so there we go. Now I selected all of Charmander. What I'm going to do is select Inverse and delete everything other than Charmander. That deletes everything, gets rid of all the remnants, and now I can duplicate this layer. Duplicate layer, where is it? Duplicate layer over to my composition. Alright, now I've got Charmander in there. Let's move him over to the let's move him into the school. Charmander is gonna be somewhere in the school. He's gonna be like hiding in there. You're not really gonna see him. So let's apply the transformation. Let's look over here. Where do I want to put Charmander? Probably gonna put him back here inside the school. Charmander's going to be real small because he's way back here. He's going to be right here on top of this little bush. Charmander's about to set the school on fire, pretty much. This fool is about to set the whole place up. Alright, so now I got to go to my layer. I need to find something to put Charmander behind so he looks more realistic. So I'm going to grab this pole right here. I'm going to grab this pole. It's a straight line, so I know I can grab above Charmander, and I'll be selecting everything that is the pole. Alright, so now I'm going to go layer via copy that layer, and then move it above Charmander. So now Charmander is back here behind this pole. Looks kind of realistic. There he is. Alright, so Charmander back there, and I can actually move Charmander anywhere that I want to move him. Let's see, and he will continue to look realistic. I can put him as far behind that pole as I want. So I'm going to put Charmander right back there so he just looks a little bit realistic with that one eye poking out and his tail poking out on the other side. Alright. So Zenthic Pro says Yanma is a Ditto. I haven't found a Yanma Ditto yet. Is that real? Alright, somebody in the Pokemon Mind says it needs some Generation 2 Marill, so I'm going to go ahead and do Marill. Let's do it. Come over here. Let's go Pokemon Go Marill. Okay, so let's see if I can find a picture of Pokemon Go Marill. Let's go any size just so I get more options. I'm not seeing any Pokemon Go Marill, so what I'm going to go is my YouTube channel. Go to videos. I'm going to... Where's my Marill video? Here it is, Marill. Gonna have to skip the ad. Alright. Now I'm going to use my snip tool. I'm going to snip out Marill. Save it as capture. Okay. Now I'm going to open up this Marill. Make a layer from my background so I can select and delete. Select and delete all these little remnants here. I'm selecting Marill right here. I have everything that's Marill selected by the ears. You can see that I want to get right up on that line basically. In fact, I'm not going to do it that way. I'm going to use the selection tool like this because I've done this before and it works really well. I'm just trying to get that last little bit of green out of there. It's a lot of green in here, so I'm just trying to get it all. Boy, that's a lot of green. I didn't think I'd have to cut them out this much. But I am a little bit picky about how I do this, so... Alright. A little bit more here. Cutouts take the most time, you guys. Cutouts are crazy. If you can avoid doing cutouts completely, just avoid them. But sometimes you do need to do a cutout just because you don't have the asset that you need and you really want it. And I actually do like the suggestion to put Marill inside the composition. It's a good suggestion. Just a lot of green on this Marill. So let's get all that green out of there. I'm also just cutting off some of these rough edges. Some of these edges are really rough. So just kind of smoothing it out. Now I'm going to deselect. I'm going to eraser tool just a little bit off this foot to smooth it out. And a little bit off this foot to smooth it out because they're supposed to be a little bit more round than that. Alright. Just smooth out those edges a little bit. And there's just, well, I'm going to leave that green. So there we go. I've got my Marill. Let's go ahead and cut Marill off this composition layer via cut. I'm going to delete everything else and I'm going to duplicate this layer over to my composition. Alright, now I should have somewhere around here, should have Marill. Okay, there we go. Marill way up there. So now we got Marill in here. Marill is going to sit right here out in the open because I don't want her to be too unobvious. I'm going to make it just a little bit bigger for this composition. And now we got Marill. Okay, so somebody said put in Ditto. Somebody wants a ditto, so I'm gonna put in ditto as well. So let's go ahead and put in ditto. Let's see. Somebody said put Skarmory flying in the air. I like that a lot. Let's do that. Pokemon Go Skarmory. See if I can find a good asset for Skarmory here. Doesn't look like I have one. Look, this is from my video. Ha! If you go to the page, it's going to be my video. Nice! It's probably where I'm going to have to get the asset from anyway. Just like I did on the last one. Now I'm going to have to wait till Skarmory flies and does something, because when it's straight on like that, it doesn't look right. Did I catch it on the first try? I want to get it while it's like in a certain position. Okay, that right there would work. That was pretty much what I wanted right there. Alright, so let me go ahead and cut that out. Go ahead and save that. Okay. Let's go File, Open, Capture, Update. Alright, so now I have this interesting asset, but it's got a little bit of this white that went over it, and that's going to make it harder to cut it out, but I think I can get it out of there. Let's do the... I'm actually just going to do a straight cutout on this one, because it'll be faster than doing the selection tool, and I'm going to have to do a cutout off the selection anyway. So here we go. Just going to cut this out. Nice and easy. So like I said, cutouts take a long time. If you can avoid them, but sometimes if you want to get what you want, you just gotta cut it off of something else. So it's not the end of the world. It's part of the process, and it'll make the quality of your work better if you do this and if you do it correctly. So I think it's worth it to do the cutouts if you have the time and if you have the skill to do good cutouts, and if you really need that asset. And in this case, I really need it because I really want it. Because one of my awesome fans said that it would look good, and I think it will look good. So I'm just cutting this guy out. This is a straight cutout, you guys. This is how you do a real cutout. You use the diagonal tool, you grab every single little bit of what you want, and you drag along the kind of corner edge of what you don't want, so you get that little bit of miscolored outer edge out of there. Okay? So there's always going to be that little bit of your background that's miscolored and bleeds into your subject, and you want to get that out of there. Alright. So cutouts are ridiculous. But this one is almost done. Cutouts are such intense work. Some of the most intense work you can do in Photoshop. Oh my god, I'm almost done with this cutout. And I have to say I did a really good job too. That was amazing. So I have to make a layer from my background. Now I'm going to select inverse. You guys notice I use select inverse a lot. That's a tool that I use all the time. And you can see I got my Skarmory cut out and it looks pretty good. So now I'm going to duplicate this layer over into my composition. And there we go, Skarmory. Real small, but Skarmory is up there, at least in the sky. I'm going to blow it up just a little bit bigger. And there we go, Skarmory up there in the sky. So there we go, Skarmory looking pretty good. Skarmory's got a little bit of remnant on his wing right here that I want to cut off because I can see them when I'm zoomed out. So I'm going to cut that off. Cut off this little bit here as well, just because I can see it and it's bothering me. And this little bit as well. Alright. So Skarmory does have a little bit of remnants there. You guys know I don't really like those remnants, but I'm not trying to get too nitpicky about those details on Skarmory because it is so small, it's going to be hard to notice it. And one thing I'm going to do with Skarmory is stroke it. This might work, it might not work. I'm going to stroke it with 1 pixel of white. So let's go 1 pixel, change it to white. Sometimes that can bleed out the little bit that I missed, and it is kind of doing that just a little bit. It's bleeding out that little bit of the pixels that I missed with the white. So instead of seeing the little bit of black that's around the edges, you see that little bit of white that's around the edges, and it kind of negates what I missed. So it's a way for me to not do all the extra work of the cutout that I know that I should probably have to do. And I could even increase the stroke to 2 pixels if I want to see a little bit more. But in this case, yeah, I'm just going to leave it at 2. Alright, so we got Skarmory in there. I'm not even sure what else it needs. Let's see here. I could probably do a school newspaper. Let's go to my Open Recent Pokemon Go News. My Pokemon Go News actually should have a Ditto in here. There's Ditto. And there is the newspaper that you guys asked for. So let's go ahead and duplicate those layers into my composition. Alright, so somebody asked for a Ditto that has a newspaper. So there you go, Ditto with the newspaper. If that's what you want, then that's what you get. So school news with Ditto, there you guys go. Let's see. Somebody wants Slowking, somebody wants Togetic, somebody wants Charizard. Slowking's going to be tough. Let's see if there's a good asset for it. Slowking can be the teacher. Slowking can definitely be the teacher. Whoa. Sexy Slowking. That's amazing. Okay, we're going to move on before I get too excited. I could use that Slow King. So I'm going to do layer via cut, delete the rest of everything else. Now I'm going to do magic selection, select everything I don't want and take it out. Oops, I took out his hat, which I didn't want to do. My tolerance is a little bit too low. I need to turn my tolerance up so I can select more. Alright. Just taking Slow King out of here. Now I'm going to take my tolerance back down so I can take out some of this white without taking out his body. Makes it take a little bit longer, but it's more accurate. You see, I'm not taking out his hat now. Alright, so we got Slow King. I'm going to have to do a little bit of cutout, but not as much as I would have had to. Let's go ahead and cut out these pixels. Oops. Oops. Dang, I messed up my selection. Can I go back? What I'm doing right now is fixing my selection because I kind of messed it up. So I'm just going back and redoing some of this. Since I already selected some of it, I don't want to lose that selection. So I'm just adding to my selection. That last move was me removing my selection. Now I'm adding back to it so I can delete all those. And I'm going to use the eraser tool, just erase some of these remnants over here. Erase all this because it's all remnants. Using the eraser tool is the worst way to do a cutout. I do not recommend using the eraser tool for cutouts. It doesn't work. You won't get the results you're looking for, and it will look unprofessional. So do not use the eraser tool if you're trying to do cutouts. There's a reason I do it the way that I do it, and because that is the best way, and I learned this technique from people who are experts in their field. So use this technique. It is the best. There are more advanced techniques than this, but I don't know them. So here we go. But yeah, using the eraser tool is the least advanced technique that you can do, and it won't work. It will make your composition look really bad. Alright, so let's get the last little bit of these remnants out. I especially want to get these out because they're very, very dark, and what I don't want is a bunch of really dark pixels all over my composition that don't need to be there. So I'm just going to cut those pixels out. You can see I'm going right along the edge and just cutting those pixels out. There we go. And there's quite a few of them. Sometimes when you use the magic eraser tool, you end up going back and doing a cutout on that area anyway. And sometimes it's better just to do your cutout in the first place rather than use the magic eraser tool and then have to do the work twice. And magic eraser tool does leave a lot of remnants, so if you're like me and you don't like remnants, then you should probably consider just doing full cutouts. But for the sake of time on the live stream, I wanted to just do this in a little bit quicker way, because I think it's important to show all the methods that could be used. Now I went all the way up there to grab the rest of that remnant just because I could, and there we go. Now Slowking has been isolated. Let's get a look at this dude. Alright, so I've got a Slowking from behind. That's not bad. That's actually a pretty decent layer. Let me go ahead and duplicate this layer over to my composition. So duplicate layer over to the composition. Let's see how big it is. Oh, he's not that big. So we can drop Slowking down here. Slowking is just kind of looking at the school, and then we're gonna select Dratini and move Dratini over here. Dratini is gonna get shrunk a little bit for perspective, because when you go higher in the composition you have to get a little bit smaller for perspective. It's very important to keep your perspective, and that's why Slowking is going to go just a little bit bigger, because he's way up front here in the front of the composition, so he's going to be kind of big to show that he's way up front. So there we go, and that's why Skarmory is a little bit small back there, because Skarmory is way in the back. Alright, so there we go. Now we have school. Alright, so what else does it need? Oh, somebody said do Farfetch'd as the teacher. I kind of felt like Slowking was the teacher, but Farfetch'd is pretty funny. Alright, so, oh, you know what? Slowking needs to have a pop quiz behind his back. So Slowking is going to get a pop quiz. Let's see if I can find some kind of asset that says pop quiz. Let's go. Who's that messaging me? Alright, good. Let's go, pop quiz. Let's see if I can find an asset that looks like... Okay, let's find a memo. Maybe I can find a memo. Okay, now that's not a bad asset right there. No, it kind of is. It has too much shadow. What I'm looking for is an object that could be held by Slowking. Something that looks a little bit more realistic. Something that looks realistic. That is, like, not good. I need to find something that really looks good. Oh, this is good. This is good. Alright, let's go view image. That will actually work, at least. Because I just want something for Slowking to hold in his hands that says pop quiz, you know? Like it's a surprise. So let's move this above Slowking. I'm going to have to zoom in down here so I can make this look right. Now I probably need to make Slowking look a little bit bigger, which means that I need to move some of my elements around. So let's move this over here. Let's make Slowking a little bit bigger since... Oh, that's too big. Alright, Slowking should be pretty big. And because Slowking's getting a little bit bigger, I can notice some of these remnants, so I'm probably going to have to clean him up a little bit more. Slowking has some remnants that I don't like. So clean up Slowking just a little bit. All right. You guys know how I am with those remnants. I really don't like them there, so I got to get rid of them. All right, so let's go ahead and resize this pop quiz to where it looks like Slowking is holding it in his hands. Okay, now the way that you make people look like they're holding things in their hands is by cutting their hands over the top. So what I'm going to do is zoom in a little bit further. Okay, I'm going to turn off my pop quiz layer. I'm going to select my Slowking layer, and I'm going to select Slowking's hands. Why I'm going to do this is because I need to duplicate his hands. This is the same thing that I did earlier when I made the Pokestop look like it was inside of the school. So I am selecting the hands. I'm going to duplicate those hands, and then I'm going to put them over the top of the image that I want it to look like Slowking is holding. Alright, so let's go right click, layer via copy. I'm going to turn Pop Quiz back on, and I'm going to drag this layer above Pop Quiz. So there is one little area here that I missed. It doesn't look quite realistic, so I'm going to shrink my Pop Quiz so that it fits inside the area. There we go. Shrink it down so it fits inside there. Just nice and perfect. Okay, I don't want it sticking out. I want it to look like he's really holding it. There we go. And now I notice I've got some like stroke on my Pop Quiz. So I'm just going to pull that off. I have to rasterize my layer in order to do that. You don't want to rasterize it until you know you're done resizing it. Okay. Now I'm going to pull all that off because I don't like the way it looks. Just getting that nice straight line there. Alright, so there's my Pop Quiz. I got all that extra stuff pulled off of it. That was just part of the asset that was on there. Alright, so there we go. Slowking is my teacher. He's got a Pop Quiz for the students. Alright. Slowking's got a Pop Quiz for the kids. Ditto is in charge of the school newspaper. We got Dratini in there hanging out. We got Marill in there hanging out. We got a couple of Pokestops. We got a gym. You guys, I think we might be done here. And I spent a really long time on this, so I really should probably just call it done. So how to survive school. We've got teachers or gym leaders, test is a battle, important test is a gym battle, grades are gym badges, a new semester is a new town, and a year is a league. If I put Snorlax in, he would be bigger than everything. I don't know where he would fit. Alright, let me do Snorlax because he's my favorite Pokemon. Let's go Snorlax Pokemon Go. I'm going to go Tools and search by large because I only want a high quality asset. Let's see. Here's a big boy. That should work. Now all I really need is his head, actually. Okay. So I'm going to grab Snorlax's head and shoulders, layer via cut. Then I'm going to delete my background. Need to zoom in a little bit so I can get some of these elements removed. Alright, so I'm doing the full cutout here. Takes a little bit of time, but like I said last time, sometimes you just end up doing this anyway, and it's better to just start out doing it, especially when it's easy straight lines like this. And, you know, don't waste your time trying to act like you're not going to do a cutout, because you are going to do a cutout. If you start with an asset that has a background, you're going to cut it out. And if you have to cut it out, then you may as well do it the fastest, most efficient way that is the most high quality way. And that is the way that I have showed you here today. Oops, dang it. I accidentally double clicked. So now I'm just going to include the rest of this in my selection as well. Oh my god, I'm like messing up really bad here. Basically what I'm doing right now is including all of this in my selection, but I messed up, so I had to basically include a lot of extra stuff in my selection. Normally you won't have to do that. I'm going to go layer via cut again, cut him away from the rest of everything. Now I've got my layer of just Snorlax. I can duplicate that layer into my composition. And let's see, where should I put Snorlax? I was thinking Snorlax is big enough to go right up here behind the school. So put Snorlax like poking out from behind the school because he's so big. Alright, so I'm going to put Snorlax right there. And then what I need to do is zoom in so I can get him behind the school. So I'm going to take Snorlax, turn him off. I'm going to label that Snorlax so it's easier to find later. Now I need to go down to my school layer, select my school layer, and I'm going to grab this whole top of the school right here. And I'm just going to duplicate this whole layer. So let's go layer via copy. I want to have 2 of those. Now I need to bring this up above Snorlax. And then when I turn Snorlax back on, he's behind the layer. So that's a quick, easy trick you guys can use to move stuff around. Alright, now I need to turn Snorlax a little bit. I need to stick him behind the school. Trying to figure out what will make the most sense here without covering up my text too much too. Alright, so there's a good placement for him, but I didn't cut enough of my background, so I just need to make a little bit of extra background here. So I'm just going to grab some more of this school right here. Just grab enough to cover my dude Snorlax there, layer via copy, and then move that layer up above Snorlax. There we go. Now Snorlax is back behind there. Let's go ahead and zoom out and see if the composition still looks good. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Let's save it. Alright, you guys, I think I'm done here. I've got a lot of stuff in here. Snorlax is up behind. Oh, you know what? I missed some details. Look at this. Snorlax is in front of this tree. So I need to get this tree right here and cut it out. So let's go ahead and I'm going to isolate more tree than I need. And then I'm going to come back and remove some of it. So let's go layer via copy. Move this layer up above Snorlax. And then what I'm going to do is actually use the magic selector to delete some of this layer back out. So let's go ahead and delete it back out. There we go. So these are important little tiny details that if you do them correctly, they make your composition look really real. and if you do them wrong, they make it look really fake. So it's important to get all these little tiny details and make it look like Snorlax is actually in front of this tree. Okay. And you can do it if you just pay really close attention to the details and what looks real and what looks fake. And all these little tiny pixel remnants, they look fake. So you want to get the brightest colored ones, the ones that have the brightest color. Take those out of there because you can see them. And they disrupt the eye. They look unnatural, so you look at them instead of not looking at them. What looks natural is when you don't look at the little details and you just see the whole composition and it looks real. That makes it look really natural. So getting all these little hard shapes, these little square edge shapes out of here is really, really, really important. But like I said earlier, doing cutouts on grass and leaves and stuff like this is insane. It takes forever. You can see how many little tiny pieces I have to get out of here to make it look real. So if you can avoid situations like this entirely and never have to do little stuff like this, just avoid it. It's way better to avoid it. But in this case, I wanted to put Snorlax where I wanted to put him, and that happens to be right where I have a bunch of trees. So I got to get these little bit of remnants out of here. And I'm just taking out everything that's brightly colored until it looks more real. Now let's go to full size. See how you can still kind of see those remnants in there? It's annoying, but when I get out to the size that it's going to be when people are looking at it on Instagram, which is about this size right here, you can't really see it. So it's just a little bit of remnants that I pulled out of there. All right, you guys. I think I'm done here, you guys. I'm going to save it. I'm looking for any more little tiny errors that I missed, and I don't see any. I've got Pokemon all over the school. I've got a gym. I've got Pokestops. I've got a bunch of requests that you guys asked for inside of there, and I feel pretty good about this composition. So I'm going to save it, and I'm going to post it to Instagram. So I always do save for web. Save it as a JPEG. My image size is incredibly huge. 2,000 by 2,000, almost 3,000. That's huge, but I'm going to save it that way anyway. It's a pretty large file. I'm going to save it to my desktop, and then I'm going to close Photoshop, save my changes, and I'm going to come in another window and email this to myself. Alright guys, hey! So, just here at my desk, I'm going to email myself. If I can find my file. There we go. Alright, you guys. So now I am going to show you guys posting this on Instagram. So here we go. I've got my there we go. Alright, I had to actually change some settings on my stream real quick, but I was able to get my tablet up. So here we go. I'm on my tablet. I am on presenter mode. You guys can see what I'm doing now. So I'm going to check my Instagram DMs, and I'm also going to post this file that I just made. So let's go ahead and put it up. There we go. It looks like it's not quite the right size, even though I made it 3x4. So I need to go back to Photoshop. Make some changes. So let's see here. Open up my composition. For whatever reason, How to Survive School did not make it. So I'm going to select all my layers. I'm going to select every single layer, and I'm just going to hit Control T and transform this into a little bit smaller. Okay, I'm just going to take every single layer and transform it to the spot where I know it should work. And then I'm going to save it again as the exact same file. Replace it. Now I'm going to email it to myself again. Basically, I just guesstimated where I should do that, the modification. So just a total guess based on how much of the image didn't show in Instagram just now. So let me go ahead and send that. Let me go ahead and download it. Okay. So that should be done. Let's go ahead and come back to my page. Okay. Now we're on my page. You guys can see what I'm doing again. And let's see if this one wants to fit. Yeah, so this one fits better. That's a lot better. I'm going to zoom it just until I delete that white space that I put in there on purpose. So I'm just going to take as much of the photo as doesn't have the white space. So there we go, just a little bit more zoom, there we go. So now my photo actually fits within the composition. I thought that it was a 3x4 aspect ratio for Instagram, but I was off by just a little bit apparently. So that's kind of interesting. Let's see here, where is my YouTube chat? Here's my YouTube chat. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Really appreciate it. So I'm about to get this posted. Hopefully you guys like my composition. Hopefully you like what I did. And if you guys want to be first like, now is the time to try and get that first like. So I'm about to hit post in just a second. All right. Now I want to remember, who did I see this from? Funniest_Pokemon. I might shout them out. I might not, because they probably didn't make it themselves. I got a message from my wifey. Alright guys, I'm about to post this, and it will be your chance to get the first like. So let's go ahead and do it. I gotta change my keyboard. I always have to change my keyboard for whatever reason. It doesn't default when I'm using my screen recorder. So let's go, alright guys, I'm gonna share it. Alright, here we go. Let's see who gets first. Alright, that came out pretty good if I do say so myself. Came out really good. Let's go see who got first like. First like was I Go Beast Mode 66. I'm gonna follow this person. I Go Beast Mode 66. Make sure I got the right person, and there they are. So I got the right person. And then let's go over to my story and post that they were first. There we go. Whenever I post pictures from my tablet, they don't really show correctly on my story, so that's kind of lame. Now that I'm done with that, I'm going to let that post get some likes, and I'm going to move on to my DMs, finally. I'm going to check my DMs. So I've got 74 DM requests right now, 74 new people that want to DM me that haven't even DM'd me before. So I got a lot of DMs to get through, you guys. It's going to be a tough one, so let's go ahead and do it. Booyah! That was I Go Beast Mode right there. Shout out to I Go Beast Mode. This fool got first. Good job, bro. Dang, people sending me awesome pictures. Alright, so just doing like little mini shout outs to everybody who sent me messages here. Wow, he's got Slow King. That's awesome. Shout out to this guy's YouTube channel. Wow, this dude found a Crobat. Alright guys, this is the part that takes forever. Wow, this dude caught two Skarmories. Wow, people sending me a lot of pictures. Oh, this guy's got the Amphour, whatever it's called. Oh, Snorlax with Hyper Beam. Oh, Feraligatr, that's legit. Nice. This dude got Snorlax and Feraligatr in the same day. So many messages. It's ridiculous. This is why I just heart everybody, because there's just so many. Wow, he's got a 3,000 Tyranitar. That's amazing. Oh, Typhlosion. Wow. Snorlax. Big boy. Oh, Blissey. Wow. So many people DMing me. It's ridiculous. It's more than I can handle. So many people just want to say hey, and that's cool, but it's like a lot of time to go through all this. You guys can see why I just heart everybody, because there's not really time. And everybody's just sending me pictures that are like, okay. Mantine and Octillery, not bad. Whoa, he got Quagsire. I still don't have one. Oh, he's got Jumpluff. I still don't have one. Dude! How did they get Typhlosion to shoot the fireworks out like that? Mine doesn't do that. Wow, look at that. That was awesome. Oh, you guys, I'm almost done with the messages. Look, I'm almost at the end. Alright, somebody asked me to follow them. I always follow if people ask me to follow them. Thanks for watching, everybody. I really appreciate it. I'm just chilling here on my live stream, hanging out, doing my thing. This dude's walking Scizor. That's awesome. Wow, I made it through all the messages. There's probably more, though. Look, I got 2 more while I was checking all those. Okay, that was all my new messages. Let's go look at my fan account. Oh, my fan account got 100 followers! Shout out to my fan account. Alright, now I gotta scroll to the bottom and get everybody that I missed. There's probably like over 100 messages in here. You can see all the ones that are blue. Those are the ones that are new. Everything that's blue is new. I always go to the bottom just in case there's some buried like these guys. There's always some people buried at the bottom, and I try to get everybody out of there because they'll stay there forever if I don't get them out. I'm just looking for the blue circles next to their name. Alright, there we go. Looking for anyone with a blue circle by their name so I can get them a response. He said to say pineapple shrimp on my stream. So there you go, bro. The homie said to follow him, so I followed him. People are saying that Yanma can transform into a Ditto. So that is pretty interesting. He's got a tiny Pokemon. That was funny. I get so many messages. Oh, he found a Togetic. Wow, that's awesome. The homie asked me to follow him, so I followed him. So many messages. People always asking me what tracker I use. It's like, guys, if you watch my videos, you'll know everything that I use because I always post about it. I don't like to answer questions that I've already put in videos because it shows that people don't watch my channel. And it's like, I'm not going to sit here and answer your questions for you when you don't even watch my channel. Oh, I love this. Yes. So people are saying Yanma can transform into Ditto. That's pretty cool. So many messages. It's ridiculous. I don't want to get through all of them. Wow, look, 3 Scythers. That's awesome. I don't play Roblox, whoever keeps asking me that. I tried to play it on a live stream. You can watch the live stream. It was terrible. Roblox is like possibly the worst game I've ever played in my life. I couldn't even figure out what to do. Like, there was nothing to do in it. So many messages. Alright guys, I'm pretty much done here. I don't want to do this anymore. It takes too long. I'm going to try and finish up, but I'm basically done. Now I'm going into power mode. Two-handed mode. Power mode. I'm gonna heart every single person. Power hearting! I'm really gonna heart everybody and then end the stream because I'm done. Jeez, look how many messages I've hearted already and I still have more. It's just like it takes forever to get through these. And people are just messaging me nothing. It's just pictures of their Pokemon most of the time. I'm almost done. I got through most of them. That's funny. Wow, you guys, I'm basically done. I'm not going to do any more. Look how many there are. I'll do my request, though. There's new people. Alright, you guys, I'm done. I'm going to get off of here. I've been, like, sitting here for way too long. So, what? I'm not going to follow your spam page, whatever that is, with, like, naked girls on it. Alright, you guys. So, I'm going to get out of here. I really appreciate you guys hanging out on my stream. It was kind of a long stream today. I was just hanging out, finishing up some work that I needed to get done at my desk. I'm glad you guys could hang out and see it. Let's go see how many likes my photo got. So far, we are at 111, well, 113 likes, roughly. So that's not bad for a short amount of time. All right, you guys. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Thank you to all my awesome subscribers. You guys are amazing. I think I'm just going to hang out and chat for a second. Chatty chat. Chatty chatty chat chat. Let me do shout outs before I go. Shout out to Florentic Gaming. Shout out to me and Ethan. Shout out to MP 5.2.0. Shout out to Sig Play Guar Kari. Shout out to Laura White. Shout out to Golden Pug Gaming. Shout out to Lou Verno. Shout out to Stars and Boulevards. Let's see who else. Florentic Gaming, Random Gaming 01. Master Kevin Gaming, Florentic Gaming, Alexandro Barco, Master Kevin Gaming, Laura White, Random Gaming, Golden Pug Gaming, MP 5.2.0, me and Ethan and Cam's channel, We're Boss. What's up to Karan Veer Singh? What's up to Leo Videos? What's up to Laura White? What's up, Harvey? Laura says, please say hi to Harvey. Shout out to Harvey. Shout out to Master Kevin. Shout out to Gaming with Aiden. Shout out to Anonymous Gamer YT. What's up, my boy? What's up to Johnny Turalda? I think I said that right. Sorry, I probably said it wrong. Shout out to Jut Hode. Says he loves my videos. Thank you so much. Shout out to Alexandra Barco. Dab on him. All right. Dab for all the haters. Dab for them. Shout out to Florentic Gaming. Shout out to Commander Klein. What's up, Commander Klein? Kicking it. Thank you for hanging out, you guys. Gaming with Aiden. Stars and Boulevards. Yeah. Stars and Boulevards kicking it. Says discussions are more interesting than shoutouts. It's true. I'll do Discord another time. I didn't feel like doing it today because some people just end up talking too much and it annoys me. So let's see. Shout out to Judy or Juddy. Shout out to Juddy Merher. If that's Merher, Juddy. Shout out to Florentic Gaming from Norway. Shout out to Johnny Tiralda. Yeah, sorry. He says it's okay about the name thing. Thanks everybody for hanging out. I really do appreciate it. I'm just kicking it, you guys. I'm about to be done. I am done. I'm out of here. Froster Tube. Shout out to Froster Tube. Jet Hode wanted the dab. So I'm also going to do one finger dab. One finger dab. One finger dab in. Dab is the dance move. So dabs is what that is. All right, you guys, I'm going to get out of here. Shout out to Harambe. Master Kevin Gaming has an iPhone 7 Plus, so that's pretty legit, bro. Except for Android's better. Oh, just kidding. iPhone 7's pretty sweet. Dab is a dance move. That's a dab right there. It's a dance move. All the kids are doing it. Actually, a lot of kids think it's not cool anymore, but I still think it's cool because it's fun. So, whatever. All right, you guys, I'm out of here. I'm done. My live stream's over. Thank you for hanging out. Thanks, everybody, for kicking it. Yeah, Stars and Boulevards, nobody dabs better than Scyther. Scyther is the ultimate dab machine. And that's it. I'm out of here, you guys. Thanks again. Thanks again. Thanks again. Thanks, you guys, for hanging out. And peace.